Murong Chui, c. 326–396, the founding emperor of the Later Yan Dynasty, was a renowned general, military strategist, and politician during the 16 Kingdoms period. He was the son of Murong Huang, the founding monarch of the former Yan Dynasty, and Lady Lan, the consort of Murong Huang. Murong Chui's grandfather, Murong Hui, the founder of the Yan regime, placed great emphasis on the traditional moral and cultural education of the Han people for the family's disciples. Murong Chui was no exception. From a young age, he thoroughly studied Confucian classics and became highly Sinicized, indistinguishable from the Han Chinese. Moreover, Murong Chui inherited the excellent genes of the Murong family, possessing extraordinary talent. He was 186 centimeters tall, with arms that reached past his knees, and he was exceptionally skilled in martial arts. In 339, at the age of 13, Murong Chui followed his elder brother Murong Chui in attacking the Xianbei Yuan tribe. Murong Chui led the charge, displaying remarkable bravery and combat skills. He repeatedly achieved military successes and became renowned among the Xianbei tribes, truly earning the title of a young hero. In 342, at the age of 16, Murong Chui served as the vanguard, accompanying his uncle Murong Han in a campaign against Goguryeo. They decisively defeated the Goguryeo forces and pursued their victory into the capital, Wandu. This compelled King Gojia of Goguryeo to abandon the city, fleeing alone in haste and leaving his family behind. In February 344, Murong Huang personally led troops to attack the Xianbei Yuan tribe. Murong Han, serving as the vanguard general, charged into the enemy ranks and engaged the fierce and renowned General Shi Gan. During the chaotic battle, Murong Chui suddenly launched a flank attack, swiftly killing Shi Gan on the battlefield. Seeing their commander slain, the soldiers of the Yuan tribe panicked and fled without a fight. The Yan army pursued the fleeing forces, and the tribal leader, Yuan Yadugi, fled and later died in the northern desert. Consequently, the Xianbei Yuan tribe dispersed and perished. From that moment on, Murong Chui's name struck fear into the hearts of his enemies, establishing him as a famous general. At this time, he was only 18 years old. In 345, Murong Chui stationed his troops in Tuaha, Liaoxi. His formidable reputation instilled such fear in the Zhao generals, who had intentions of annexing Yan, that they did not dare to invade. In 349, Emperor Shihu of Zhao suddenly passed away, plunging Zhao into chaos. Sensing an opportunity, Murong Chui hurried to the capital, Longqing, and personally said to Murong Jun, "Opportunities are rare and easily lost. If the Shi family declines and then resurges, or if a hero arises to seize their resources, not only would we miss this great benefit, but it could also pose a future threat." With the support of ministers such as Feng Yi, Murong Jun appointed Murong Chui as the commander-in-chief and general of Jianfeng, selecting over 200,000 elite soldiers in preparation to attack Zhao. In February 350, the Yan army divided into 3 routes to attack Zhao, initiating the grand enterprise of the Xianbei Murong dynasty's quest to dominate the Central Plains. Murong Chui led 20,000 troops along the eastern route, invading Zhao through the city of Tuaha. The Zhao border commander, Deng Heng, was so terrified that he burned the warehouses and fled, retreating to Ji City. Without shedding any blood, Murong Chui captured the surrendered soldiers and provisions from the Luan and Beiping commanderies and joined forces with Murong Jun to attack Ji City, present-day Beijing. In March, the Yan army successfully captured Ji City. Murong Chui persuaded Murong Jun to abandon the idea of massacring the Zhao prisoners of war, thereby winning the support of the Zhao populace. One day, while Murong Chui continued pursuing Deng Heng's defeated soldiers, he camped at Qingliang, modern-day Qingyuan County, Hebei Province. Deng Heng sent his fierce general, Liu Bozao, with several thousand elite soldiers to secretly traverse the Taihang Mountains and launch a night attack on the Yan camp at Qingliang. Zhao soldiers unexpectedly broke into Murong Chui's tent. Startled, Murong Chui fought back fiercely, personally killing more than 10 attackers and halting Liu Bozao's assault. Soon after, Yan General Muyajin and others, alerted by the sounds of battle, arrived with reinforcements and successfully repelled the Zhao soldiers since 289, when Murong Hui, the founder of the Yan regime, submitted to the Jin dynasty. He led the Xianbei Murong people in adopting Han culture. After the War of the Eight Princes, the Central Plains, the cultural heartland of China, fell into chaos, and many refugees from the Central Plains fled to the border region of Liaodong. These Han refugees were well cared for by Murong Hui. Scholars among them became teachers for the Murong family's descendants, and some former Jin officials were recruited into the Xianbei Murong regime, becoming senior policy advisors. Murong Hui's far-sighted vision allowed the Xianbei Murong tribe to transition from a primitive and backward lifestyle earlier than other nomadic and fishing tribes. The adoption of a civilized way of life with ritual education and order made them stronger than other nomadic and fishing tribes. 60 years later, when the Yan army entered the Central Plains from Liaoxi, the Xianbei Murong tribe had become a well-resourced and formidable force, unmatched by other ethnic groups. Under the combined might of the two great generals Murong Chui and Murong Chui, the Zhao state, which had once dominated the Central Plains, was quickly overthrown. The territory, population, and military of Zhao were taken over by the Yan dynasty, which became the foremost power in the Central Plains. In April 354, Murong Jun declared himself emperor and established the Great Yan dynasty, with the capital at Yi City. Murong Chui was appointed as the king of Wu and stationed at Xindu, present-day Jiuxian, Hebei, to govern the region. In 357, the Chile people, who had originally been unwilling to settle south of the Great Wall among other ethnic groups and preferred to stay in the northern grasslands, repeatedly harassed the Central Plains. After the Yan dynasty took control of the Central Plains, to put an end to these disturbances once and for all, Murong Chui led an army of 80,000 northward to attack the Chile settlements. He defeated them decisively, capturing and executing over 100,000 people and acquiring 130,000 horses and countless cattle and sheep. This action restored peace to the northern border. The saying goes, starting a business is hard, but maintaining it is even harder. The descendants of the Murong family were born brave and vigorous. From a young age, they were influenced by Confucian ideals of loyalty, filial piety, and benevolence from Han culture. They dedicated themselves fully to the survival of the Xianbei Murong tribe and the Yan dynasty's dominance over the Central Plains, setting aside all personal concerns. However, once their endeavors succeeded and the Yan dynasty was established, the power, wealth, and other tangible benefits began to outweigh moral ideals and influence. Murong Chui and Murong Chui were not the sons of Murong Huang's primary wife, so they were not the first choices for inheriting the throne. Despite being naturally kind and passionate about the honor of the Xianbei Murong tribe, both were exceptionally talented in both literature and martial arts. Murong Chui, in particular, fought alongside his father Murong Huang from a young age and achieved numerous military successes, earning Murong Huang's deep favor. This, however, incited jealousy in Murong Jun, who was the legitimate son of Murong Huang and thus the primary candidate for the throne. In 358, Murong Chui married Duanshi, the daughter of Duan Moko, the leader of the Xianbei Duan tribe. Duan Moko was a renowned general, and his daughter, Duanshi, was known for her strong-willed character. Murong Chui and his wife had a loving relationship and had two sons, Murong Ling and Murong Bao. Duanshi, believing in her noble lineage, often showed little respect toward Empress Kuzu Huan. Empress Kuzu Huan came from humble origins and was initially just the wife of Murong Jun, the crown prince of Murong Huang. Despite her modest background, Kuzu Huan was beautiful and eventually bore Murong Jun two sons, Murong Yi and Murong Wei, and was deeply favored. In 353, when Murong Jun declared himself emperor, Kuzu Huan was elevated to the rank of empress. Empress Kuzu Huan had a malicious and suspicious nature. She harbored deep jealousy and animosity towards Duanshi due to her noble status. Empress Kuzu Huan instructed her trusted eunuchs to accuse Duanshi of practicing witchcraft, known as mushi in ancient China, which involved creating small effigies from tung wood, writing the names of the cursed individuals on them, and using their birth details to calculate the corresponding characters in the Chinese sexagenary cycle. These characters would be written on the effigies, which were then enchanted and buried near the victim's residence to control or capture their soul. In ancient China, where scientific knowledge was lacking, The practice of witchcraft was considered a serious crime, often punishable by death. At this time, Murong Chui also sought to use the opportunity to implicate his brother Murong Chui. As a result, Duanshi was arrested and brought to prison, where she was subjected to severe torture. Despite the harsh treatment, Duanshi refused to yield, fully aware that her capitulation would implicate her beloved husband, Murong Chui. Murong Chui, heartbroken, secretly sent someone to tell Duanshi, "Life is but a single death, can you endure such cruel suffering? It is better to submit." Duanshi sighed and replied, "Do I love death? If I were to falsely accuse myself of treason, it would dishonor my ancestors and bring disgrace to the king. I will not do it." What a proud and resolute woman she was. Duanshi later died in prison, and Murong Chui was thus spared. A war god who was invincible on the battlefield could not protect his beloved wife within his own family, leaving Murong Chui heartbroken. When Murong Chui married Duanshi's younger sister, Xiao Duanshi, as his new wife, Empress Kuzu Huan demoted Xiao Duanshi and instead married her own sister to Murong Chui. Murong Chui was deeply displeased by this, which further worsened his relationship with Murong Chui.